Hey guys, and welcome to another Factorio Friday Facts discussion. And today we have some graphical stuff and power pole redesign, which is pretty interesting. So there should be a bit of good discussion here. So this one's written by Albert, one of their main graphics guys. And first off, he talks about the party tomorrow, or today, rather. Actually, when this is going out, it will be today. So for a couple weeks, he's been working on graphics and such for the party. He had a lot of fun with them though, which is good. Because these small things are giving me a chance to experiment and play with the graphical identity of Factorio. I like the happy logo variation, the small jumping gear. Like here's the logo thing. Some layouts, the one color version of Factorio logo, and so on. Luckily, I finished the jobs with time enough as to come back to the game graphics. But to be honest, Jitka is the person who's really taking care of every single detail for the party and pairing everything. She's become a master with the stamp. So that's what this is, I guess. They've created a Factorio stamp, like to stamp stuff which is super awesome, and other stuff that I can't reveal just to not spoil surprises. So anyone who's going to the party is lucky. It's going to be pretty awesome, I think. You guys are going to have a lot of fun. But now we get down to the high-resolution electric poles. So most of the time when converting normal res graphics to high-res, they like to take the chance to rethink the design of the entity, which is a smart thing to do, I think. Normally, after testing it in the game for so long, it's easy to find better solutions for all problems, but the main reason for redesigning an entity is that it doesn't support the double resolution, because it was designed for normal resolution, and sometimes it is because the style is primitive and doesn't fit the actual standards of the game. Both reasons are true for the case of electric poles. So this is the poles we have now, right? These are the electric poles we have now. We have the wooden one, the medium one, and the big one. Personally, I don't think they look bad. As we go down in discussion here, there's some things pointed out, and I read through the comments on the Reddit post for the Friday Facts and a little bit in the forums too. And some things were pointed out that I actually never noticed about these that does make me dislike them a little bit more, just because I never actually paid enough attention to notice it. For example, this pole actually being a diagonal makes not much sense. I've never really seen diagonal poles in real life. Not that they don't exist. They don't exist where I live. So yeah, that's just one thing there. But these don't look too bad. But if they can't be rendered into high res, I understand. So now that I see them again after working for so long with the high res versions, I don't find them that bad. But it is true that there are problems, especially with the medium one. I'll talk about it later. Let's start with the big pole, the easy one. So this is the first iteration they have for a new graphic for the big pole. It's quite different, fairly similar, but so this is big pole version 2A. The main issue he has with this, though, and I would agree, mostly, the model version 1 doesn't support high res, so that's the first one up here. And I always thought that it could be much nicer. This new version 2A model is in fact a real one that exists not too far from my home. It's just perfect in real life, but for Factorio it has some problems. The base is too thin, which I agree, that was mostly what I don't like about this, is the base is too thin. It needs to cover 4 tiles, and it has 6 connections instead of the 3 that Factorio requires. So you notice this guy has 3, whereas this has 6. And then also, this does need to cover 4 tiles at the base, like this one did. And I asked for having 6 connections and a little variations in position rotation of poles to make it more natural in the game, but the amount of work and potential problems it would cause made it not viable. So, a really nice point of this model is how it rotates is very clear in its geometry, clean and transparent at the time of overlapping with other tiles. So now we go down to version 2B, which I actually quite like. This one I like much better than the above one, and I would say I like it a bit better than the normal one, or about equal. I definitely like it better than this one, though. And it says, after the first attempt, the proposed solution is more conservative, getting back to the classic version 1. 2B is just trying not to freak out too much and moves forward within the comfort zone. It's pretty much the same as version 1, but better for high resolution and modern Factorio style. I like this personally, but he says the problem of this model is the rotation, specifically the horizontal view. So I believe a third version will come out after mixing the best parts of 2. I mean, if this is the horizontal rotation he means, I don't think it really looks that bad. Maybe it's actually like a game mechanic thing or something. I don't know, but I like this one. I hope they stick fairly close to this. Definitely not. This looks wonky. I don't like this at all. This one though, definitely good. And then the medium pull, this one is where it kind of loses me a little bit. Same with based on all the comments I read on the subreddit post, it seems that quite a few people strongly dislike what is presented with the medium pulls here, and I would have to kind of agree, but we'll get into them. So this is medium pull, version 2A. The main problem with medium pull and small pulls is they are normally located in the middle of your factory, so if you have a tight setup, they can be very intrusive. They need to be transparent. On the other hand, they have to be visible enough in order to feel comfortable at the time of playing. That's why medium pull version 1 is a diagonal, this guy up here, which, like I said, I never really noticed that it was, but I actually like this how it is. Aside from the fact it's like realistically, I'm not sure diagonal is the best, but in terms of just visually and such, I actually quite like the current one we have. So there's that. We go down here. So it is just an experiment that tries to show the tiles behind as best as possible, which makes sense. But to be honest, I find it a bit annoying, the absurdity of having diagonal pull that requires another support on the base just to be stable. Again, kind of like I said, logically it doesn't make much sense. What kind of engineer does a pull like that? The good part of version 1 is that it is very unique and you can recognize a pull as from Factorio anytime you see it. Exactly. With this new model, version 2A, this guy, I'm trying to simplify the shape as much as possible in order to be more light and transparent. The problem is that the horizontal rotation is not spectacular, and this sense of uniqueness is quite diluted. So it seems like he kind of has the same feeling as I do and quite a few people do in terms of this one. Personally, I don't like this one at all because, again, it's not unique like in the least. It's just a pole. I mean, it's just a straight thing of metal. I mean, and it's not unique really at all. And then version 2B, I actually dislike almost more. And it seemed like a lot of the people in the comments and stuff of the post would agree. But so comes the medium pull version 2B, which is trying to keep the lightness of 2A, even increases it, and it tries also to recover this loss of uniqueness from version 1. Rotations are not super spectacular. But for the horizontal rotation, which are the most difficult ones, this model works pretty well. I believe that a medium pull version 2C will come by taking the very best of the other models, which I hope is good. Personally, I mean, I guess I like this better than like this. I think that the kind of triangle shape here is nice. A lot of people in the post comments said that it kind of reminds them of like a light bulb filament, which is true. I like it from this view. This view, I'm not like, maybe I'm just having issues seeing this, but when it's turned like this, I can't tell what the hell's going on with this. Like, it looks like it's either bent to like the left or it like bends forward, which based on the curvature of this, it looks like it does bend forward, which I think is a little bit odd. I'm still not super happy with the fact that it's just a straight pull. I mean, I guess that's what power pulls are. I mean, really, that's pretty much what they are. But I mean, I like the one we currently have better than either of these two. So hopefully the version 2C will, like you said, take best of both worlds and combine them. I'd like to hear your thoughts on all these. As always, I'd really be interested to hear what you guys think of this stuff. And then for the small one, so comes the, did that. Okay, so it's small. Version 2A. With the first version of the small electric pull, I had already a long and difficult process for building it. In my opinion, there's not really any serious issue with it, apart from the high resolution incompatibility. So basically, version 2A is just a cleaned and stylized version of version 1, and when it needs to be tested to see if it really works. I think this works. I mean, the small one, it's pretty simple. It's just a wooden pole. I like this. Honestly, I don't have any issues with this, aside from the shadow. The shadow on this one is wonky, I think. But that's maybe that's maybe just a small thing. So there's the power poles. I would be interested to hear what you guys think about all these. I quite like this. As I said, these two not so much. But I do like the fact that they are looking into kind of redesigning them rather than just making the current ones high resolution. I think that's probably a smart move, just as a general thing to do, is, look at the things and just be like, do we need to redesign this or not? So that was a short and brief trip to the redesign from high resolution Factorio. I just wanted to continue a little bit from the last Friday Facts where V went over all the combinator stuff in order to show more deeply the process of creating entity. Many times we speak about technical stuff, meaning code and complicated tools, but we sometimes forget to talk about the conceptualization and design, which is full of techniques and twists, which is true. I really love all these ones with pictures. These are always fascinating. As you can see, everything in here is a work in progress, so they'll probably tell us more about the final version once they get it working. And then now we come down to this. As a bonus, I'd like to introduce you to the new version of the warning signals. I had to clean up the style a lot in order to make it very visible in any situation. Still work in progress, so expect changes, but step by step, Factorio looks better. I think in general, these look way better. I'm glad that he hasn't called these final because there's a couple here, and again, I keep bringing up the comments of the post for this because there's a lot of good insights there, and it's just kind of interesting to see what the community thinks. So for this post on the subreddit, the comments kind of ring true with what I'm going to say. Some of these I'm iffy on. So like most of these look great. Like, these, I don't remember what exactly these actually are. I think this is like the turret is attacking, and then this is actually something taking damage. And then that's something destroyed, I believe. Yeah, but anyway, point is, so most of these look good. This is, needs repair. This guy and this guy, I'm not sure what the difference is. I mean, this looks like, it's power. I don't know if it means it's disconnected, and then this means that there just is no power. This looks like maybe something with repair or missing materials potentially. The battery one, I'm not quite sure about. Like most of these are actually in the game currently. I just am horrible at remembering this. The gas tank, obviously fuel. There's a few in here like this. I have absolutely no idea what this means. And of course, when you hover over it, it tells you what it means. So I guess it doesn't have to be like super identifiable by the icon. But this I can't even begin to guess. I have no idea what this means. Same with this one. It looks like a something. I really have no idea what this is. This one, I know personally. I know this means that there's like no ammo. A lot of people were commenting that they could not figure out what this was. They thought it was like some sort of like eraser or something. Really, I think this is, it looks pretty much like the ammo clip. So I don't think it's that hard to differentiate this one. This is something with roboports, clearly. I'm not quite sure what about them. Something about robots, probably missing robots or something. But mostly these two, I can't even begin to guess. This looks like, I don't know, a little square thing with a cell phone. I'm not sure. And then this one almost looks like a gas pump, but that's obviously what this is. A gas pump, I don't know. I seriously have no idea. But anyway, that's my feedback on these. In general, they look way better. And, again, it tells you when you hover over it, so it doesn't have to be, just instantly identifiable by the icon. Most of these are. These two I'm not quite sure on. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. If you know what they are or what, your guess, that would be cool to see. It may just be something obvious, like that I'm just completely missing. I don't know. But anyway, there you go. That's the Friday Facts. Quite interesting. I really love these kind of behind the scenes ones where they walk you through the steps they take and such. I'll be very interested to see the final version of the power poles, and having them in high resolution as well will be quite nice. Now, they don't talk about the substation. I don't know if that's on hold or they're just not redesigning that in particular. So they're just maybe just going to convert that straight to high resolution, which would be fine. I think the substation looks pretty good as it is. Obviously, minus the fact it's not in HD. But that is going to be it for this one, guys. As always, check out the forums for the discussion as well as the subreddit, the post there. And I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. And yeah, I believe that's going to do it. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like, and until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.